And today officially kicks off the most awkward, tension-filled, possible passive-aggressive press tour that we will probably see in our lifetime. God only knows how Disney is going to promote this film.
And to start things off, for those of you that don't remember, people are pissed at Rachel Zegler for comments made about the original Snow White. So it all stems from that.
I mean, you know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story. With a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Super weird.
So we didn't do that this time.
And in just 4 days, the trailer had gotten 5.5 million views, 24,000 likes, and over 588,000 dislikes. And one of the things they're not happy about is the way that the 7 dwarfs look. Just look at this dude in the back. This looks like it was made in like 2008 for animation. And why it looks like this is because they had to do a ton of reshoots because people were not happy with the way that the 7 dwarfs looked. If you remember, for this new live action Snow White, they went with the very woke approach and people were not happy with it, especially people with actual dwarfism who were mad about not being casted for the role. And so now that they went with an animated approach, this is what we're getting, and it looks bad.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the biggest entertainment dramas right now, Disney's live-action Snow White. This movie hasn't even hit theaters yet, and it's already sparking more controversy than excitement. From casting choices and script changes to off-screen feuds and political clashes, this production is shaping up to be a PR nightmare for Disney. We'll break it all down for you. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. When Disney first announced Snow White, it sounded like a sure thing. Who wouldn't want to see one of Disney's most iconic classics reimagined for modern audiences? But the excitement quickly fizzled out once the first trailer dropped. Instead of reigniting the magic of the 1937 animated masterpiece, the remake has become a lightning rod for heated debates about race, gender, and politics, topics that were never part of the original story. One of the biggest changes, the 7 dwarves, who were an essential part of the animated film, have been replaced with CGI magical creatures. Disney likely made this decision to avoid perpetuating stereotypes, but fans are far from thrilled. Many argue that the dwarves brought a unique charm and warmth to the original story, and replacing them with CGI characters feels cold and soulless. Some even feel this change strips away the heart of the tale, leaving it unrecognizable.
A new Snow White trailer dropped yesterday, and rightfully so, people are up in arms at Disney because they CGI'd the 7 dwarfs instead of giving those roles to actual actors with dwarfism. Look at the way Disney treated people during the SAG and the WGA strikes. They do not care about their employees. They do not care about artists. They do not care about marginalized people. They will throw someone under the bus if it means protecting their image.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Rachel Zegler, cast as Snow White, has been at the center of a lot of the backlash. In interviews, she hasn't held back her opinions, describing the original Snow White as creepy and stalkerish because of the love story between Snow White and Prince Charming. For many fans, these comments were a gut punch. The romance was one of the core elements that made Snow White a beloved classic. By dismissing it, Zegler seemed to be rejecting the very essence of the character she's playing.
I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again. Like, I'm being so serious. I watched it once and then I went on the ride in Disney World, which was called Snow White's Scary Adventures. Doesn't sound like something a little kid would like. Was terrified of it. Never revisited Snow White again.
Then there's the controversy around her casting. As a Latina actress, Zegler doesn't match the brothers Grimm description of Snow White, whose skin is famously described as white as snow. While many fans were supportive of the inclusive casting, others weren't so kind. Some critics took to social media, arguing that Disney was bending too far to push diversity in ways that didn't honor the original story. Zegler responded with a fiery clapback, tweeting, "Yes, I am Snow White. No, I'm not bleaching my skin for the role," left many fans feeling alienated. And if you thought the drama ended there, buckle up, because things get even messier. Zegler's relationship with her co-star Gal Gadot, who plays the evil queen, has also been making headlines, and not in a good way. Gal is known for being outspoken about her political views, particularly regarding her home country, which has sparked its own share of debates. Meanwhile, Rachel has been vocal in her support of the opposing side. Their clashing stances have spilled over into the public eye, with subtle, and not so subtle, jabs on social media. Gal even liked a tweet criticizing Rachel, while Rachel's tweets seem to take veiled shots at Gal. Yikes. This off-screen tension has left fans wondering how the two actresses could possibly work together, let alone promote a movie that's supposed to bring a magical fairy tale to life. life. Branding experts are already calling this a PR nightmare. Instead of focusing on building excitement for the film, Disney now has to manage the fallout from these public feuds. And that's not even counting the delays the production has faced, with some fans speculating that Disney may have had to reshoot parts of the movie due to the backlash. The official line blames the SAG-AFTRA strikes, but the timing has left many unconvinced. Even Peter Dinklage weighed in on the controversy, criticizing Disney's portrayal of the dwarves in the original story. While his comments sparked important conversations about representation, they also created a divide within the dwarfism community. WWE wrestler Dylan Postal, known as Hornswoggle, argued that Dinklage's critique might have cost actors with dwarfism valuable roles in the industry. Disney's decision to replace the traditional dwarves with CGI magical creatures has only added to the frustration, with many fans feeling like the film has lost too much of its original charm. And let's not forget the political firestorm surrounding Gal Gadot. Her vocal support for her home country during recent conflicts has sparked calls for boycotts, particularly among those who oppose her views. On the other side, Rachel's outspoken support for the Palestinian cause has created its own backlash, adding another layer of tension to the film. Some fans have been blunt about their decision to skip the movie altogether, with one saying, "I'd love to hear Rachel sing, but I can't support Gal Gadot." All of this drama has left fans divided. Some feel that Snow White is trying too hard to modernize a classic, losing the heart and soul of what made it special. Others appreciate Disney's attempt to create a more progressive and inclusive story, but even they admit the execution feels clunky. One fan summed it up perfectly. Not every woman wants to be a leader. Snow White was relatable because of her kindness and love. Why change that? As the release date looms closer, it's clear that Disney has a long road ahead if they want to turn this around. The question is, can they? Or is this movie destined to be remembered as one of Disney's most divisive projects ever? So, what do you think? Are the changes to Snow White bold and necessary, or have they strayed too far from the original? Do you think the off-screen drama will overshadow the movie itself? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear all your opinions on this. And hey, if you're craving more hot takes and updates on the latest entertainment news, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click on the next video. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. See you there.